Good evening, everybody, or good evening. Happy lunchtime, or good evening to our European friends, and good morning to our friends out on the left coast. Everybody, it's your host, Billy Tucci here. I don't know if I'll be joined by Niall Scala. Hopefully we will. But welcome to Lunchtime with Billy Tucci, our new one of our new episodes on the Pop XP. And I am so delighted today to have two of my favorite people, two new friends, one I've known for a couple of years now, who I now have the honor of working with on Miss Fury Joy Division, who is our artist. And so without further ado, let me introduce to you all the divine Miss Maria Laura Sanapo. Maria.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be back. Hello. Hi, Billy. How are you?
I am super terrific, and I'm just so excited today of who we have is we have a great guest today, and who it is someone I had the privilege of meeting at the San Diego Comic-Con last year. It was such a surrealistic day because I had approached Trina Robbins earlier, and I think it was Maggie Thompson, or it might have been Jackie Estrada, set up a meeting with Trina Robbins, who wrote the foreword to the Sensational Sundays by Miss Fury by Dean Mullaney. It might have been Dean Mullaney, the author of the book. And so Debbie and I had breakfast with her. And then later on that afternoon, I was introduced to June Tarpé Mills' nephew, Bill Finn, and his amazing family. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I literally stopped everything. And this might have been like Saturday or Friday. No, it was Friday, actually. And San Diego was just crazy. I mean, it's insane. It's just packed. And I'm like, I had to stop everything. And we had a great conversation. Then we hung out that night at the Eisner Awards. And it was just a true privilege. Someone who has a passion for his aunt's amazing legacy. And I'd like to, if we can, let's bring in Bill, Mr. Finn. So hello, Bill. How are you?
Hey, good guys. How are you doing? So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hello.
So we're just thrilled. And as you could tell by you guys in the pre-show chat, you had a conversation with Maria, and you just see the passion she has for this project.
Yeah.
And it's a truly incredible team that we've put together, with Team Fury. Just amazing talent, and just everyone's so passionate about the project. It's just a wonderful experience that we get a chance to in some small way carry on the legacy or reintroduce the legacy of your aunt, June Tarpé Mills, and to the masses out there. And we have a campaign running right now, and I'm going to load that up. Let me see if it works. So right now, Maria and Bill, we're over $38,000. We're just over a week in. And it's just it's been great. We have 23 days left of the campaign. We've got some really big stretch goals coming out, some really cool stretch goals, and some new perks we'll be adding. And this is just so exciting with the Joy Division. It really is. So I'm just wondering, Bill, if you, as someone like I said, I know that you never met your aunt, right? Sadly, she passed away in 1988. But if you could give a little insight on her, because I know you know so much about her. You've got a really cool birthday card for your grandfather when he was, I don't know if he got his appendix taken out or something. And but let's see and just show her art. I mean, June's art and her fearlessness.
Absolutely.
You got two books there. Of course, you got the Sensational Sundays, and then you have another book that I'm not familiar with behind you. But I don't know if you want to share with the people out there. Talk about yourself. Tell us about you.
Sure.
Tell us about your aunt, if you will too. I'd love for people to know of not only how she lived, which is super important because she was fearless, but also how she passed away and the circumstances surrounding that. And that's why it's so important for us really to push her legacy and let the world know who she is and how incredibly important she was, and her talent, and how influential it was on comics that resonates to this day.
Absolutely. Well, she's an amazing woman, and the legacy she's created really is an inspiration to all women, all of us today. She was born in 1918 in Brooklyn, New York, a family that had really no resources. Everything was hand to mouth. And she went to high school, She wanted to go to Pratt Institute. She had to pay her own way through to do that artwork. So she started modeling. She was beautiful.
Yeah.
Very sexy, sultry woman. She knew that. She embraced her femininity. And she then began, besides modeling, doing some artwork, advertising-based work. And she really liked that and kind of gravitated into this idea of comic work. And some of her early comics, one was named after my father, Barry, Daredevil Barry Finn, which was a fascinating story and goofy and sci-fi and fun. And then, of course, she morphed into Black Fury, which became Miss Fury. But this woman, everything she did, the battles she faced were so huge because she was a woman trying to break in to an industry that was male-dominated. We're talking about the 1930s, 1940s. She had to work so much harder than everybody else to get to the same place. And she did it with class and finesse and a huge amount of talent. And in doing that, she kind of changed the way we view comics. Her bringing in fashion into it as well, and the detail in the comics really set a new stage for everybody. So in terms of the rest of her life, she had a lot of success. April 6, 1941, she debuted Miss Fury, which was a huge success. It did very well. And then over 100 papers at its peak. It was huge during World War II with numerous bombers, B-24s and B-17s, having Miss Fury on the nose art. So this one was in the Pacific Theater, and then we have others that were in the European theater. But Miss Fury was everywhere, and she was very well read and very well liked and loved. So that Miss Fury continued up till December 51, when that comic was canceled. At that time, she lived New York Avenue in Bedford.
Oh,
it was the house where she was born. And the rest of her life is kind of a denouement, very quiet, isolated. She became kind of a recluse. She continued to draw, but never had the fame she had with Miss Fury again.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible story, an incredible journey. And I remember you, as you guys were talking, and Maria Laura, you were talking to Bill about now that there's a lot of things. It's a lot of similarities between you and her, Maria, because you love you are an incredible artist. You are fearless. I know you've done modeling before. I see your pictures. Maria is like the comic industry Wonder Woman. She can throw you out a window. She's a badass. She really is.
Oh, wow.
But she also loves her shoes and her fashion too.
Yes, I do love shoes. They're very important. I can do with I can go out without nothing but with shoes. I need shoes. So, Billy, me and Bill were talking backstage about how strong and fierce June was. And she's an example for all the women out there, for me as well. She was a cartoonist in 1940, 1930, and at that time, for women was so impossible even to work. Was difficult even to get, every job. So he really opened the path for us. We have to thank her, and really, it is a honor to have you here, Bill, to talk to you. It is great, and she's an example for all the women. We were talking
absolutely, yeah. And what I think is so cool is that what she did just with her intellect and her talent. There was no superpower. She didn't have X-ray strength. She used her wits to outsmart the Nazis, to outsmart male criminals. She just was brilliant in the way she did that. And she made it really sexy and cool at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you got to think of all the costumes, and you look at, today's costumes, and they seem to be getting, even in the 90s, which we had a lot of fun with. There was a time called the Bad Girls movement. And even like Sue Storm, she ended, the Invisible Woman had this real cutout, very tiny bikini type costume. And even she's got, a more sexy type costume, I think. But what's sexier, though, than like a cat suit? all covering Catsuit, right? I mean, damn.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. Now, Bill, I there are a few things that make me cry in life, and one is, I guess you could say, Old Yeller when you watch that. Watching Dunkirk made me cry. Rocket launches. Whenever I watch, like the SpaceX, I had tears in my eyes. But you and I cried when we met each other. We just started talking. Remember that? And
Oh yeah.
and we were just like, and that's when I then ran into Nick Barucci, the publisher of Dynamite Comics, who is putting together the book. And I'm like, we have to do this, Nikki. We've got to do this book because we had tried to do it earlier. Schedule didn't work out. And then I'm like, we need Maria. We need Maria. And he's like, oh, Maria's busy.
I am here, guys. I'm here.
She's busy. She's working on this big series of books that was changed from 4 issues to 12 issues. I'm like, well, as soon as she's done, we need Maria to do this book. And he said, okay. And then I asked Maria, of course, and we've been friends for a couple of years now.
Yes, I was so excited to do this job. I did this work. When you asked me, I was like, really? And I discovered the world. So I didn't know about June Tarpé Mills, honestly. And when I discovered her and discovered this tiny, strong woman, this little woman so strong, I was like, oh my God, I had to know her. It is great. The only way to know her is drawing a comic, unfortunately, because when she died, I was 1. I was a baby. So I am really excited to do it. I really believe in this project because it has a lot of values, human values, values for women. So it is more than a comic to me. So yeah, I'm so happy to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and now if it's okay, Bill, I'd like to play the video because our moderator, TJ James, said we're $34,000 away from $39,000. Wow. So I'm sure the people at Dynamite are going to be really happy about that one. But let's go to the video. And I'm going to show the page right now. So here we are. I have it at 38,366. But let's play the video. Well, let's refresh it, right? Obviously. Let's see. Give it a second. I'm getting a storm.
The drum roll.
A little bit of drum roll. Oh no, I have 38,366. So I don't know what he said. He's got $34. We're not near that, according to my thing. But then again, I might be lagging. But in the meantime, let's play the video because that's hey man, $38,000 is nothing to sneeze about. But let's play the video. And then we'll go back to you, Bill, and we'll talk about San Diego. We're going to talk about Maria's drawing process because she's got an incredible approach to the character and how she sees her. And but let's play the video first. Let's do that.
December 1941.
Oh, sorry.
The United States officially enters World War II, a war which raged across Europe and the Pacific for over 5 years. For the previous April, a young writer-artist working under the name Tarpe Mills broke through a very particular gender barrier in the four-color world of comics. First published action hero created by a woman. And boy, what a hero she was.
Being the second woman growing in is fantastic.
Flash forward 80 years or so, and here's me, Billy Tucci, working on the return of Miss Fury, exclusive to you, our backers, right here on Indiegogo. An important graphic novel that has a very special place in my heart, presented to entertain our readers, but also to honor the character and her creator.
I cannot reveal too much today, but stay tuned. I will be posting all of things on my Facebook and on my social.
I take honor very seriously, and believe me, it's my honor to befriend the surviving family of Tarpe Mills. It's been a great honor to spend time with them and to talk to them about this project and how I intend to honor the legacy of her work and to honor the existence of this great underappreciated character. Maria Laura Sanapo, Cece Dela Cruz, Asha Kishna, Mindy Locken, and everyone at Dynamite Comics to bring you one hell of a Golden Age adventure that fits perfectly into Miss Fury's original continuity with original characters. It rekindles the spirit of the golden age and sees the return of one of the most influential characters in comic book history. Again, thank you for your time. Please pledge, please share. Peace, love, Fury strong.
All right, let me quit out of that. Hang on. Awesome. Give me a second. I have you guys muted. I have to unmute you because of the volume. All right. So let me. I have two monitors, so I have to go to the other monitor, which is being covered by my screen, so I can fix. Let me exit full screen. Great. Let me refresh that so I can start the new one. But yeah, so you could see, Bill, we're all pretty excited about working on Miss Fury and bringing your aunt's legacy back to the forefront and to the mainstream and to comics in general.
This is awesome. And what you're doing is celebrating the very first female heroine. She came out, Miss Fury came out 6 months before William Marston's Wonder Woman. So this is the first female heroine comics hero. So that's really exciting too, to be able to celebrate that.
Yeah, and again, the honor is ours. I mean, right, Maria? I mean, we're did I, Maria? Oh, Maria, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's again, this is. I get really emotional about it, like you and I did when we were talking in San Diego on the floor, like two bumbling idiots. No, we weren't idiots, but it was. And it was just so great to meet you. And now I know that June won an Eisner Award, was an Industry Icon Award. So maybe you could share that experience with us and how you guys ended up out there to San Diego and what the whole thing is about, how you got contacted about it, because it's really cool that she is getting the recognition, June Tarpé Mills, that she deserves and her character.
Yeah, the whole thing's been a fascinating journey because in the 80s, when my parents talked to me about her, no one knew where she was, what happened to her, when she died, or where her body was, believe it or not. So with this journey, I've spent 25 years trying to find her. And about 4 years ago, we were able to locate her legal documents and find her and finally buy her a gravestone and have her honored as creator of Miss Fury. So it's been this fascinating journey. And then to be able to have the Eisner Award and receive that at Comic-Con was really cool. It was a mixed blessing in that I was surprised how many people knew of her name but didn't know this story and the importance she played in all these steps of really being the shoulders that other great comic artists stood on to find success, and particularly women. Yeah. So to be able to share that and to have the Eisner Award solidify the role she played was awesome. And then, of course, to Trina Robbins, has been a really good friend for a long, long period of time. Before my dad died in Cleveland, she came to do a comic exposition and came over to the house and had dinner with the real Daredevil Barry Finn.
Oh, nice.
An awesome time together. So, it's been a fascinating journey, really, with Trina Robbins all the way along, and to see her out in San Diego and then to have time with you and Jackie Estrada and everybody else was more than I ever could have imagined.
Yeah, pretty cool. And that you were talking about the sad part of the story is that you didn't know where she was. She did kind of become a recluse. And after you were saying that after Miss Fury was canceled in 1951, after 10 years and being in, hundreds of newspapers all across the country, that it kind of broke her spirit, it seemed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It really did. And then she kind of faded to obscurity, I guess, comics obscurity, but just continuing to draw and to do a lot of advertising work and all. And then, Maria, you had something to say that you were talking to Bill about the life of a freelance artist. That you have to be on top. I've been fortunate enough to be doing this for 26 years now. But you have to, right? You're always got to be pushing yourself. You've always got to be promoting yourself. You've got to stay in that public eye.
Always, absolutely. You have to push yourself, always. You cannot stop. In this work, you cannot stop. And she's an example for this also, because she didn't stop. Didn't stop drawing. So we have to go on growing, even if sometimes we are tired, but it's a passion. So we are guided by our passion. So we go on, advertise our work. And you have never to feel arrived. You see, you never have to, okay, I arrived, my career is finished, I can stay. No, you don't have to. So
Yeah.
Billy is right. Absolutely. I agree with you.
It's really tough to rest on your laurels. There are very few people that do. But as artists too and writers, who wants to do that? You always want to improve. You keep drawing. I spoke to George Perez. His birthday was the other day, and my wife and I gave George Perez, a legend, a call just to wish him happy birthday. And we had a great conversation with him for a half hour or so. And people were calling in. But he's been on the, even though he's retired, he keeps drawing every day because he challenges himself, and it's because it's always a progression. You're always progressing until you can no longer do it anymore, I guess. But the thing is you got to stay relevant. You've got to stay in the public eye. You've got to have make your mark, because it is our chance for immortality.
Yeah.
You know, here we are talking about your aunt who created this character 80 years ago. She debuted next year.
Yeah.
80 years. Again, a character that came out right after Batman, right after Superman, before Wonder Woman, before Green Lantern, before, so many characters. And I thought she was the first person to be punching Nazis. But I think Captain America did punch Nazis the previous March.
Yeah. And I did find out that her purple zombie strip was not the first zombie strip, it was the second zombie strip. So she was right behind there on the zombie front.
Yeah, so she's there as well. But so Bill, now you had to find June, like I said, okay, so what happened to you? We don't know. And she didn't have a grave marker. Now I've seen a photo of it. How did you go about doing that? And how did you find that?
Well, it was really fascinating. I wound up turning to a genealogist in New York City to help with this because, I had submitted so many death receipt or death record requests to New York City to find her because I knew the basic window from my dad. She died in her apartment by herself, and then her body went to the Brooklyn morgue, but the paper trail just kind of disappears after that. So it wasn't until a while ago we were able to get basically the settlement of her estate, and then track through that. I got the name of the funeral home, called the funeral home. Turns out they live across the street from where my son was, so we were able to kind of talk and find out where the body was buried. And it was buried near Perth Amboy in New Jersey. So then we were able to actually make arrangements to get that gravestone in place. But the other fascinating thing is that about 6 months before she died, she invited my mom and dad over, and she showed them where her artwork was. She had a huge metal cabinet just full of all her cells. And at this point, the congestive heart failure and COPD, and she still smoked like a fiend.
Oh, she smoked. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, one of my dad's biggest memories from the 40s was going to her apartment, and there'd be a big pile of loose tobacco with a cigarette rolling machine.
So she...
And my aunt and my grandmother are chatting away, and the two boys are just sitting there making cigarettes all afternoon long. Yeah, so she used unfiltered, hand-rolled cigarettes. Yeah, but all this artwork was there, and that's the piece I'm still trying to find. Where is the artwork? What happened to it? Does it exist, or did it wind up just going into obscurity somehow? So there's precious few pieces of original artwork that exist. Really, one of the ones I have is this card that she gave my grandfather when he had his appendix out. And you can see the cover of the card here. So this is 1941. And now here's the inside of the card. So again, this is a woman that was very proud of the feminine design and just loved to celebrate her body and did some really cool stuff. And to see that in 1941 certainly caught your attention.
Yeah, that's hot. I love it. I love it. And speaking of pot, have you seen? And I'd like to post some of this up. Well, we can look at June Tarpé Mills' art. So let's look at your aunt's art now. Bill, you might be. I don't know if I could share my screen like this, so we might be covered up a little bit. But let's show a fun thing, and this is something that's also going to be a stretch goal that we're going to announce. But here is some of her art. This paper doll art that she had. But Maria, look at this. Look at her her lace. You know what I mean? And it's just hot damn.
And this is what was so cool, that there were pages and pages of this, so girls could do this fashion doll work, and it was fashion forward. It wasn't just for the sake of cutout paper dolls. It was the current fashion, or the coming fashion, that she was really representing there too.
Well, the greatest thing is that she was a great cartoonist without denying her femininity. So I love this. She was so feminine. She strongly underlined this. I like it. I love it. Yeah.
What's weird is in comics, it seems to that especially in mainstream comics, they want to go the opposite way of that now. They want to almost take out the femininity of these characters, make them more, ambiguous. You know what I mean? Sexually ambiguous. You don't know if it's a male or a female, masculizing a lot of the female characters, emasculating a lot of the male characters. What I loved about Miss Fury is there was none of that. I mean, you have Gary Hale, and who's 6'2", looking 6'1", black hair, blue eyes, fighter pilot, and then you have Dan Carey, the Marine, the detective, the same thing, but real manly men. And then of course you have, Marla Drake, our badass right here, who wouldn't think twice about shooting you with a 45 though. But again, with the with hyper feminism that she was, but then she could also fight. You know what I mean? Like she would take punches and she'd get hurt. And there's a couple of episodes, if panels and stuff where she's really hurt and wounded. You know what I mean? And she has to recover because she was small. I would think that your aunt was small too, because she says she's like 5'2".
Right.
So she's like a little dynamite.
Well, she really didn't weigh much. She was a wafer of a woman. But the fact that she melded those two, you could be a strong woman and a feminine and be beautiful at the same time. These things aren't mutually exclusive.
Right.
That's a really important message. Love who you are, but at the same time, what we see in Tarpe Mills, it's all about her smarts. It's about her wit. And she is living the day with her brains, not her sexualized body.
Yeah.
That is part of her personality as well. They coexist very well together.
Yeah, you can be smart and feminine at the same time without any problems. Yeah, it is great. It is a great message. And the thing is that we didn't change the character. We respected exactly the same character. We didn't change anything. So the Miss Fury, the reader will see, is the original one. So femininity and intelligence. So
I think that
yes,
that message is even more important today.
Yeah.
This message from 1930 and 40 of empowering women and celebrating who you are is even more important right now. So I'm so thankful you guys are carrying that original style and message forward to today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying it before, Bill, that I think this is the right time to read Miss Fury, maybe better than before, because now this message is more important, as you said, about self-confidence for the women, stand up for your right, and etc. etc. So I think it's a good moment for Miss Fury right now. It's perfect.
I also love that. Here's what Maria did. If you've seen this, and we posted this in our friend Michael Soloff's father's original fashion designs. And next week we're going to have Michael Soloff on. And we'd like Maria for you to come back to. Bill, if you'd like to come. But I mean, this is Maria. Now you talk about confidence And you see, it shows Marla Drake's confidence from the early pages of Miss Fury when she was this flippant socialite who was upset that another woman was wearing the same costume she was supposed to wear to a costume party, to a costume ball. So she ended up grabbing the old cursed, Panther suit to wear that. And then, of course, she gets in trouble and ends up stopping a crime and all. But, I mean, look at this. And I just love what you did, Maria, too, is that if you look at the original Tarpe Mills illustrations, if we go with this one, you see all the curls. You see the pre-World War II United States mentality of that you can take that time. You can have all these big, all this material and stuff like that. Come 1944, there was no time for that. So you gave her a real, Gilda-esque, Rita Hayworth style, more relaxed hair, because they don't have time to put their hair all in the rollers and things like that. But also that confidence of being a woman who has fought, the Germans from all the way to, from New York City to Brazil and back at this point. And I just love it.
Me too. I love the dress. I think that I love about June is that she put herself in the comic. I do the same, but probably it could be the same attitude I had with that dress on. I would like that dress for me. I don't know, maybe I could go, I don't know, with that dress. Maybe I didn't have occasions, but really, I would feel very confident with that dress.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then because we're also going to have Michael Saul. So my friend Michael, who's going to be on next week again. I don't know if you could take a little 45-minute lunch break next week, but he'll be on, and Maria, you as well, to talk about, we're going to call it Furious Fashions. And it's how we're using my friend Michael. And here's like another thing about dreams that are abandoned. And my friend Michael, his father did that. I think he designed that dress when he was 16 years old. That's when he's 16. I thought he was 19. So my friend Michael's father wanted to be a fashion designer. He just had this talent and love for women's fashion and for the female form and everything like that. And of course, after he graduated high school, well, what do you do back then in 1957 or so? Well, you join the service. So he joined the Air Force, got out of the Air Force, and then went to work for his father's furniture business. He became a salesman. There was no time to follow your dream to do that. And sadly, Michael's father passed away, I don't know, about a decade ago. And he had called his son over. He was in hospice and said, why don't you come and go through the house and pick what you want? So Michael was just digging through a closet and found this portfolio that had not seen the light of day for 50 years or so. And just was blown away by and his father said, yeah, that was my dream. I've always wanted to do that. And what's another cool thing about the project is now we're going to give Michael's father's, his name is Charles Mark Soloff's designs will be worn by a starlet, will be worn by, and will be seen again with Marla Drake wearing it, and also our antagonists, Erica von Kampf, the Baroness. She'll be wearing it too in Paris, where they fight atop the Empire State Building. I mean, the Eiffel Tower.
Very cool.
And that's a cool thing too, is that for those of you not familiar with, see if I got the image here of Erica von Kampf, who is Marla's. Let me see where it is. Her main adversary, female adversary,
nemesis,
was a reluctant Nazi spy, right? I mean, she did it mostly for money and all, and she was caught. The image is here, and the Germans branded her forehead with the swastika, so people would know that she was a Nazi spy. Oh, I totally saw it.
Underneath her little triangle-shaped hair.
Yeah, her widow's peak.
Coming back and forth, yeah.
Just nuts. I mean, here's the original Charles Mark Soloff design from the 1940s, and then of course here is Maria bringing her into the 21st century with the red. But I don't know if it's okay, but maybe I'd like to show some more of Maria's artwork, Bill, real quick, because we're coming on 10 minutes now. But I mean, just look at this, the action, everything. I mean, look at this. I just love it with the airship, and so how do you approach Marla now that you've read the books, you've been studying her, Maria? What's your approach?
Well, the first approach, of course, was about the period she lives in. It is very important, all the gesture, all periods, or all of historical periods normally have particular fashion gestures. And being a woman in the 40s, it was of course was different from being a woman nowadays. So my first approach was the time she lived in, the personality, the context she lived in. Okay, she's a rich woman. She's classy. She has to move in a certain way. Okay, so it is very important. So I gathered a lot of references about the time, about the fashion, about women in that time, and for this reason, I understood better the character of Marla. Another thing I wanted to understand and I wanted to know is it's June, because I think that June and Marla are the same person. In my opinion, they are the same person. They are classy. They are smart. They are fierce. They're strong. So okay. So if I want to draw Marla in a proper way, I have to know June. So I had to know her reading the stories. I have the book. One of the books here, I read this book. It's fantastic. I really advise it to everybody. And thanks to this book, I really understood a little bit June and Mara. So this is my approach, and I really loved it. Love this character. It is a great honor to work on it. So to be a woman drawing another character drawn by a woman, I love it.
And created by one. That's even more important. I mean, again, it was the first comic character, published comic character created by a woman.
Exactly.
And it's timeless. It really is. That costume is bloody timeless, man.
Yeah.
So, Bill, we're coming in on the end. We appreciate you coming in with Maria. With our shows, we're going 45 minutes.
Okay.
A lot of times our shows end up staying for like an hour to an hour and a half, 2 hours, but we've all got work to do. And that's why I love it.
I understand. I understand your feeling. I know.
Yeah, well, yeah, you do know. I don't know how you do it. Like I said, you're a machine.
I know. I have to finish too. So I
Hey,
understand.
Billy and Maria, it's such an honor to have you two on this project. It warms my heart so much to know that you're carrying June Tarpé Mills forward. You're going to introduce her to new audiences that are going to be thrilled with the storyline, the art, but also the message and the empowerment that's in there, and the raw action and sexuality and feminism and intrigue. This is going to be awesome, and I'm just so excited and can't wait to see it come out.
Thank you so much, Bill. The honor is mine, and I feel fulfilled doing this job. I really believe in this work. I really believe in this project. I believe in this Fury because it's a character created with passion. So I'll do my best in it. Absolutely. Thank you so much. It has been great meeting you.
There's nobody in the world that I think should be drawing this book but you. You're perfect for it. You really are. You really are.
Well, this was possible thanks to you, Billy. Thanks to Dynamite Comics, Matt Idelson, who is the editor, and Nick Perucci, and all the Dynamite crew. So I really thank them, and you, Billy, of course.
And then we have another one. We have next the sequel. What I'd like to do, and I'll talk to you about that, Maria, and hopefully you'll want to stay on. Is Miss Fury Goes to Hollywood?
Really?
45 Academy Award. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of fun. We have Errol Flynn and Bogey and Sinatra and John Wayne and everybody in it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, I'm totally convinced about it. I'm sure about it.
Yeah, and I guarantee you guys are going to love this book. We're also passionate about it. It's such an important project to us, just because of who your aunt was, Bill, and the world, like I said, will never forget Miss Fury or who June Mills is. And I'm personally tired of people saying, "What is that? Some sort of Catwoman ripoff?"
Yeah.
After this, they'll never ask that question again. So
That's right.
thank you all for joining us, guys. Miss Fury right now is live through Dynamite Comics. It's a 100-page graphic novel. We're coming on in a week. We're almost at $30,000. We're at almost at $39,000 right now. We have a new stretch goal announcement coming. We've got a lot of really cool stretch goals, special editions, and it's just great. Bill, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for all the great conversation. And I look forward to seeing you again, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, guys.
Yep, you too, everyone. Thank you. And remember, peace, love, fury, strong. And let's head out with we'll head out with our little thing, our little video. And everyone have a great weekend. Have a great day. I'll be back on again today at 3 p.m. on another YouTube channel. I got to check this. I don't have the link. I apologize. And then tonight right here on Pop XP, we'll have Walter and Louise Simonson. So everyone have a great day. Bill, thank you so much. I hope you'll join us next week for another brief episode with Michael Soloff talking about the Furious Fashion. And Marie, you better be there too. You have to be here. All right. Bye, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
Guys. Bye.
They're still here. Go home. Everybody go home.
Bye.
You guys later.
Thank you, guys. This was awesome.
Thank
It
you.
is awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao, Bella.
Ciao.